Assumed. Colleagues, OIC Commissioner Roland Cafe Pondoc, COA family, ladies and gentlemen, magandang hapon po and welcome to the COA budget briefing. The Commission on Audit is one of the 4 constitutional commissions which enjoys fiscal autonomy and whose approved annual appropriations, according to the Constitution, shall be automatically and regularly released. Ito po ay dahil napakahalaga ng papel na ginagampanan ng COA sa gobyerno, lalo na sa budget process, at importante na manatili itong independent. Speaker Martin Romualdez has vowed to make sure that every centavo of the budget will be spent wisely to implement programs that would save lives, protect communities, and make sure our economy is strong and more agile. COA is an important partner in this endeavor as the Commission is mandated to examine, audit, and settle government's accounts pertaining to the revenue expenditures and uses of funds. The job of the Appropriations Committee does not end in the approval of the budget. Kailangan mamonitor natin kung papaano ginagastos ang kaban ng bayan para masigurong nakakarating ang programa ng gobyerno sa tao. COA's job, especially the generation of audit reports, is an important instrument to achieve this goal. And from the COA reports, allow Congress to assess the absorptive capacity of each agency, learn the integrity of its processes, and identify gaps in the efficiency of its systems. Sa tulong ng COA reports, masusing mapag-aaralan kung magkano lang ang pondong kayang pakinabangan ng mga ahensya at maiiwasan na masayang ito. Ang trabaho natin sa hapon na ito ay pakinggan ang COA, kilatisin ang panukalang budget at pag-aralan kung magiging sagabal sa kanilang pagtupad ng mandato ang kakulangan ng budget. Maraming salamat. We shall proceed with the budget presentation. OIC Commissioner kindly introduce your team. Thank you.
Isang pagbati po ng magandang hapon to our chair and to the vice chair, and also to the speaker and to the minority leader and the majority leader, as well as the esteemed members of this August committee, and to all the members of the House of Representatives. Again po, magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Kasama ko po ang buong COA family officials. Kasama ko dito si Commissioner Mario Lipana, isa din hong membro ng Commission proper. Ako po si Roland Pondoc, designated as officer in charge in behalf of our chair, Jose Calida. Dito po sa aking kaliwa, mga assistant commissioners, si Assistant Commissioner Nilda Plaras, Assistant Commissioner Winnie Incaliado, Assistant Commissioner Lorna Cabutyan, Assistant Commissioner Roland Ray, Assistant Commissioner Fortunata Rubico, Alex Juliano, and Beth Jesus. Sorry. And then Assistant Commissioner Roy Orsal, Assistant Commissioner Cora de la Cruz. At lahat pong nasa likod po ay meron pong isa? Dalawa. Si Assistant Commissioner Roxanne Sese and si Assistant Commissioner Mary Adeline. And directors from the different offices, especially from the offices of the commissioners and the chairman.
With your presentation.
We will proceed to the figures, Your Honor, Madam Chair. You may allow directly to the between the approved NEP and the 2022 approved budget so that we can have the idea kung magkano ho ba ang medyo bumaba doon sa pinigay ho ng DBM na budget. Sa 2023 NEP, ang PSO namin na approve is 12,467,334. Sa 22 budget na approved sa GAA, dapat po sa 2022 is 13 billion. So nag-decrease po siya ng 781 million. At ito po ay nanggagaling doon sa pagbaba ng plantilla namin na inaprubahan ng DBM from 14,000 personnel, ginawa na lang ho nilang 13,000 or a significant difference of 819. The same comparative data, Madam Chair, ang MOE namin, although nag-increase siya compared to 2022 budget versus the 2023 NEP ng 26,400,000 namin compared sa 2022 budget versus the 2023 NEP approved by the DBM, nag-decrease po ng 90,939,000. Dito sa pangalawang pahina po, makikita natin ang diferensya ng NEP approved versus the 2023 proposed budget ng COA. Bumaba pa rin ho. Ang approved lang po is 12 million or 12 billion, 12.4 or almost 12.5 billion versus sa 2023 budget proposals ng COA na 12.9 billion. Bumaba ho siya ng 455,643 million. Again, the same reason po dahil binawasan ho nila yung plantilla na pinopropose namin and it was only approved at 13,283 instead na 14,102. Po, dalawa lang naman po ang aming concern sa MOE at personal services kasi ang capital outlay, wala naman ho silang binawasan sa aming capital outlay based on our budget. Sa MOE, bumaba ho ng 268,000, 268 million 21 or almost 42% na nabawa sa MOOE. May mga dahilan po na kung bakit nila binawasan at sana po yun po ang hinihingi namin from this from later on na kung sana po pwedeng ibalik po yung pinopropose namin na budget compared sa NEP approved. Yan po ang pwede ko ma-presenta ngayon. Although I know lahat naman po ng membro ng komite may kopya na po ng mga reports namin. Maraming salamat po.
Right. Salamat, Commissioner. So at this point, we formally open the floor to questions. For some reminders first, each member has 5 minutes for questions, and those 5 minutes do not include the responses of the resource persons. And we also have a long-standing tradition in the House of Representatives to give preferential treatment to the minority members, and they will be followed by the majority members in an alternating manner. The Minority Leader, Franz Castro.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Pwede kong matanong, Madam Chair, muna kung asan si Chairman Jose Calida? At bakit po siya hindi nakarating sa briefing?
Opo, salamat po sa tanong. Nagbigay na po siya ng sulat to the committee and preparation na nakalagay ho doon na he's on medical leave po.
Of Representative Franz Castro, nandito po sa akin ang sulat ni Chair Jose Calida to explain his absence.
Chair. So dito lang po sa sa personal services, from your plantilla approved 14,102 to 13,283. So from 14,102 po na personnel, ilan po dito yung mga field position at ilan yung regular COS tsaka yung JOs?
Yung JOSO namin, nung nakaraang taon po, na-convert na ho namin to plantilla. So wala na ho halos kaming JO ngayon. Kung meron ho, konti na lang ho talaga. Yung mga hindi ho nakapasa doon sa pag-convert from JO to plantilla. So halos lahat ho ito, plantilla po.
Hindi, ibig sabihin, Madam Chair, yung 14,102 positions, they're all filled up.
Hindi pa po, hindi pa po. Yun ho ang proposed ho namin yung 14. Ang inapprove lang ho is 13,000. Kaya nag-decrease po.
14,102 yung proposed ninyo. Ilan po dito yung mga unfilled positions? O yung pipill upan yung position sana?
Sa 2022, we have a field positions of 8,276. And the unfilled is 5,826 based on the 14,000 na proposed.
Madam Chair, no? Kasi alam ko yung mga auditors natin talagang overwork din ito. Naging saksi ako mismo no doon sa isang bayan na yung isang auditor, ilang bayan yata yung ino-audit.
Yes.
So napakahirap na trabaho. Tapos ito binawasan pa siya no ng 19 mula dun sa kanilang request. So sana maibalik natin to, Madam Chair, no, in due time at ma-request natin sa DBM. So ako po ay sumasang-ayon dun sa inyong proposal na madagdagan kayo ng mga plantilla positions based on your request. Pangalawa, Madam Chair, yung tungkol dito sa o yung pondo ng NTF-LCAP. So, meron po ba tayo na audit report about the utilization nitong NTF-LCAP mula nung ito po ay naipatupad hanggang sa huling last fiscal year? Can we have it? Pati yung mga barangay development program, pwede po ba kami makakuha ng audit report kaugnay nito?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to refer it to the Assistant Commissioner assigned, Assistant Commissioner Sese.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, ma'am. The NTF-LCAC was audited on an agency basis depending on where the fund was given. So we have the SWD, for example, TESDA. Right now, the consolidation will be done when the AFR, when the report on the annual financial report, comes out, nandun na po. Pero right now, it has been published na po yung mga individual annual audit reports. Nandun po siya sa mga reports na yan po.
Consolidated annual audit per agency, per year, at saka kasama na itong barangay development program, Madam Chair.
Sige po, ipapakonsolidate po namin.
Kindly submit the consolidated report to the Committee on Appropriations.
Okay.
So next, Madam Chair, doon pa rin pala sa budget, balik ako, no? Napansin natin na mas mababa yung budget para sa MOOE ng lahat ng mga programa ng COA kumpara sa kung ano ang inirekomenda ng DBM. For example, Madam Chair, sa operations, 3.48 million ito na mas mababa kaysa sa proposed MOOE ng budget ng COA. So, paano kaya ito makaka-apekto dun sa operations ng COA, Madam Chair? Magbigay po nga kayo ng mga significant na mga na makaka-apekto sa mga operation.
Madam Chair, isa pong rason na pagbabaho nito is the decrease po. Binabaan ho nila yung operational cost of the 10 completed PISAOs ho namin, yung Provincial Satellite Audit Office, na naging bahay po ngayon ng aming mga auditors. So nawala ho yung 26 million para po sana doon sa operational cost ng every PISAO or Provincial Satellite Audit Office. So hindi ho namin ma-maintain ng sakto yung bawat opisina, wherein we can already say that yung mga PISAOs na yun po ang bali, doon nagtatrabaho yung mga auditors namin. So, kinakailangan din ho namin sana mahingi, ibalik ko yung 26 million na yun for the 10 completed PISAOs ng COA.
Chair, wala naman na rin po ako ibang tatanungin sa COA. Kuhanin ko na lang po yung report before the plenary doon sa nire-request natin. And I am with the with the COA to increase their budget according to their request to the DBM, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Your Honor.
Salamat, Rep. Castro. Next to interpolate is from the majority, Vice Chair Jose Aquino II. You are recognized.
Chair, Madam Chair, after going through the proposed budget of the COA, just like to manifest that I support their budget. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Forty-two seconds. Okay na. It is from the minority. The chair recognizes Deputy Minority Leader Bernadette B.H. Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, can I be heard?
Yes, can hear you loud and
Yes,
clear.
but-
Please
Yeah, thank you,
proceed.
Madam Chair. Yeah, I only have one quick question. Good afternoon to the COA family. Meron pong, I read in the papers that there's a 98 million worth of laptops na nakatenga lang po sa DICT warehouse. Then when I asked Secretary Ivan Uy kung paano yun, baka pwede na niyang i-distribute or something, sabi niya hindi, dahil siya daw ang mapapahamak sa COA. So what do we do with these inventory na nakastock lang? We know na, yun nga, questionable how they were purchased and all that. Kaya lang, pera pa rin to ng gobyerno, nakastock siya sa warehouse, walang gumagamit, mabubulok. Ano po bang recourse na pwede dito? Through you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, thank you po sa question. I-check ho namin kung ano ho pang kailangan or kung pwede na hong ipaparelease, i-check ho namin. As of now, wala pa ho kaming data. So we need to verify everything, Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Ano po bang policy natin dito? Because we understand, syempre, kasalanan, kunwari, previous administration, we have a new administration now. Anong standing policy natin doon? Kasi kesa naman mabulok siya, hindi ba dapat tignan natin kung saan siya magagamit na agency or saan siya magagamit at mapapakinabangan? Ano po ang policy ng COA when it comes to these things? Through you, Madam Chair.
Ang nag-purchase po kasi is the management. So prerogative ho yun ng management. Hindi ho under the jurisdiction ng COA as to the
No,
distribution.
i-clarify ko, Madam Chair, if I may. No, ang point ko kasi, pinagbawalan daw ng COA, i-distribute ito because questionable yung pag-purchase ng previous administration ng DICT. So, ngayon, nakatenga lang sa warehouse ng DICT. Then when I think Secretary Ivan Uy inquired from COA if it's okay to already distribute it or make use of it, ang sabi daw ng COA is ang magkakaroon ng problema is the new administration or the new secretary. So, paano po yun? Kesa naman mabulok itong mga kagamitan na to, ano ang policy? Now, I'm sure it's not just happening in the ICT but in other agencies as well. So I want to know ano po ang policy ng COA.
Commissioner Pondo.
I-verify ho namin kasi wala naman ho kaming sinasabi na hindi ho pwede. Baka i-clear lang ho namin kung ano ho yung gusto nilang malaman as to kailan, paano ang pag-distribute ng mga items na yon. Pero pag sinabi ng COA na hindi pwede, parang hindi ho yata yun tama na sagot. So i-check ho namin, i-verify ho namin kung maaari ho mas maganda kung makausap ho namin yung yung nagtanong.
Okay,
At saka kung
please.
sino- Yes po.
O sige nga po, and please enlighten us. And if there are things like this as well, I hope you could furnish the committee with the answer and copy furnish my office po. And if meron pang agency na may mga ganitong problema, baka meron po pa yung alam, para po alam din po namin sa Congress as to how to address these. Kasi sayang naman po yung pera ng gobyerno kung may pinapurchase na hindi madidistribute.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you po.
Commissioner
Madam
Pondo,
Chair.
please take note of the request for a written explanation.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Yun lamang po. Thank you.
Next to interpolate from the majority, we have Vice Chair Joseph Jojo Lara. You are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang hapon po. Makastang fugak. Nandito po ako para lang po ipa-manifest din ang suporta ko po sa COA, no, sa inyong budget for 2023. Sabi nga namin ni Vice Chair kanina, Joboy, baka gusto nyo pang mag-request ng mas malaki, nandito pa rin kami na susuporta po sa inyo. No? Kunin ko na rin po itong pagkakataon, Madam Chair, no, bukod dun sa pag-manifest ko ng suporta ko sa budget ninyo for 2023. Meron po kasi akong sulat kay Chairman, ipapareceive ko po mamaya, no, Sekalida, na ito po ay patungkol dun sa, alam naman natin na iisa ang hangarin ng bawat isa sa atin, no, na ipatupad kung na maayos yung mga pondo na napupuntahan, no, na budget natin every year sa paggalaw ng ating gobyerno. Isa na po dito yung pagdidistribute po ng mga social services program. Ito po, natutuwa po ako at nakita ko po ang aking kababayan dito for quite some time. Hindi ko po ito nakikita sa probinsya namin, pero dito ko po pa siya makita, no, si Commissioner Roland, no, si Roland Ray. Ito po yung patungkol dun sa nakaraang eleksyon na nagkaroon ng gastusin ng provincial government through dun sa nakaupong gobernador po ngayon na nagpamigay ng tig-1,000 sa bawat botante, no, sa aming probinsya. Dahil dun sa programa niya na tanggapin nyo ang 1,000 ito para wag nyong iboto ang taong bumibili ng boto. No po. Ngayon, ito po ay nilabas ko din kaninang umaga sa COMELEC, no, at masaya din ako na nagbanggit si Chairman George kanina doon sa pag-amenda niya sa mga sa batas, no, patungkol sa election natin, no, kasi ang palaging nakafocus po tayo tuwing election yung vote buying. It's very unfortunate lang po, no, sa aming probinsya na ang vote buying pa na pinanggagalingan di umano, no, na pinanggagalingan ng vote buying namin ay galing sa pera ng gobyerno. Yun po ang mas nakakatakot at alam ko, sabi ko nga, sa pagpapatupad at hangarin natin na mapunta sa nararapat, no, na pondo talaga na pinaglalaanan yung pondo ng gobyerno dahil kakarampot po ang pera tapos gagastusin natin sa kung saan-saan. So ito po ang aking manifestation po ngayon, no, idudulog ko po sa inyo, may request. Though I filed a House resolution, no, sa investigasyon nito, kaugnay po dito yung request ko na po sa inyo ngayon, mahal na Commissioner, no, na sana bigyan po kaagad ng aksyon itong hinihiling namin na magkaroon po ng investigasyon, no, na ukol dito sa malaking a big illegal and anomalous disbursement, no, ng huge public funds by the provincial government of Cagayan. No, ito, black and white ko naman po ito. Sana mainstrakan po sa lalong madaling panahon, no, to shed light. Kung talagang wala, maganda. Kung meron, kailangan may managot lang po. Alam naman po natin ang role ng bawat isa sa atin, lalong-lalo na po sa inyo pagdating po sa pagpapatupad at pagpapahalaga po ng pondo natin. So, sana marinig ko po sa inyo, kasagutan kaagad kung ano ang mangyayari po itong itutulog ko po sa inyong request po. So, yun lamang po, Madam Chairman.
Madam Chair, Your Honor. From that letter po, we'll submit that to the Office of the Chair. Andito naman po ang Chief of Staff ng Chair Calida para ho mabigyan kaagad ng tugon yung sulat po ninyo.
Maraming
Commissioner.
salamat po. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Salamat, Vice Chair Lara. Pakisubmit na lang po sa Committee on Appropriations. Representative Joseph Stephen Caraps Paduano. Sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the members and family of COA, good afternoon po. Madam Chair, before I proceed with some questions, I'd like to express let be put into record, Madam Chair, that this representation, when I was nominated and elected in the plenary as a chairperson of the Committee on Accounts, in which all audit reports of all agencies in government, and that includes the local government. That was August 10. I sent a letter to the COA addressed to the Chairman Calida, and I just read the reply just this morning, but of course the date is August 17, 7 days after my letter to Chairman Calida. Anyway, but it's all about, my letter is all about issues on the grant and liquidation of cash advances in the local government. Tamang-tama po. The issue that was raised by Congressman Lara is all about disbursements of the local government. Tamang-tama po. Anyway, Madam Chair, in the letter that was sent to me, dated August 17, my letter was referred to the Assistant Commissioner of Local Government Audit Sector, because this concerns the local government audit reports. Anyway, I hope, Madam Chair, that before the start of the plenary debate, this representation will have the answer of the COA chairman. I hope so, before the plenary. Can I get the commitment of the COA for that matter, Madam Chair?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, yes, yes po. We have here the ASCOM, the Assistant Commissioner on the local government unit sector.
So you are the Assistant Commissioner? So they're telling me that you are not around because supposedly the document or the answer to my request should be signed by you. But the reasoning of your office, wala ka raw dito.
Assistant Commissioner Ray, you're recognized.
I was in, Your Honors, I was in Lagawa and in Tugigaraw the last 2 days.
Okay.
No, from Tuesday to Thursday, so I was out of town. But I was in the central office yesterday, and I went over the draft of our reply to your request. And when I talked to my staff, I advised them that we will course our answer through the office of the chairman, because it was the office of the chairman which referred the matter to us. So by next week, definitely we will be ready with our reply. In fact, we already have the matrix regarding this unliquidated cash advances, Your Honor.
Thank you for that, Madam Chair. So I will expect next week. No,
We are almost done, Your Honor.
thank you, thank you,
It will come.
thank you. Anyway, Madam Chair,
Thank you po.
let me proceed with some of my questions. This refers to cash advances in local government. Well, in fact, tamang-tama na lang po na may commitment na si Assistant Commissioner dun sa letter ko. Now, Madam Chair, on cash advances, there are two types of cash advances. Tama po ba? Regular, tsaka special cash advances. Now, dun sa special cash advances, it refers to current operating expenditures and total expenditures. Tama po ba? Correct. Am I correct on that? Okay. Now, Madam Chair, all government employee tasked to make cash advances for my office. What are the rules, regulation, and guidelines that I must first read and understand so that I can properly liquidate such funds and avoid violating any law or regulation? Kasi Madam Chair, dapat yung mga AOs natin, dapat naiintindihan nila yung mga laws, issuances, especially by COA, just in case their liabilities. Tama po ba? So, ang tanong, paki-cite na lang kung ano yung mga laws, rules, regulation with regards to especially the bans, no? The bans for AOs.
Yes, Madam Chair, Your Honor. We have a guideline on that. I cannot remember the exact number, but I hope Assistant Commissioner Ray would be able to provide the specific guideline number, or even so to give you a specific copy of that guideline.
Anyway, Madam Chair, I have here with me the 7 important law, rules, and issuances. Okay, number 1. I will allow me to read, Madam Chair. Number 1, of course, is PD 1445, or the Government Auditing Code of the Philippines. Tama. Number 2, number 97-002. Tama. Okay. Number 3, hindi ko na i-discuss kung anong laman nun. Alam niyo na yon. Number 3, COA Circular number 2012-001. Tama. And number 4, which is usually used by local governments, is the Government Accounting Manual for Local Governments, Volume 1. Tama. Okay. Number 5, of course, Civil Service Commission Memorandum Circular number 23. Number 6 is EO number 77. Tama. Series of 2019 na. Ito. And lastly, of course, ang sa akin na, of course, I might be short of the list, no? And lastly, of course, yung COA Circular number 2017-001. Now, ang tanong ko po, kasi gusto ko lang balikan yung rationale nung tanong ko is that all EOs should have read, absorbed, and knowledgeable about all these laws, regulations, and issuances. Tama. Now, but ang tanong ko lang po is, may ano ba kayo? May compiled manual in all those rules, laws, and regulations that I have read? May compiled ba tayo niyan? Manual?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Pondo.
Yes, Madam Chair.
And Rep. Paduano, your time is up.
Yes, among those mentioned, I think the most important there is the guideline on 97-002. And for your inquiry regarding the compilation, we have our GAM local, the government, the accounting manual for local government units. But as of this time, it is still deferred. So we're trying to improve it more so that it will be useful, more useful to the accountants of the
Yeah, and it
PLG.
is more, Madam Chair, And it's more easier for the EOs.
Yes.
Di ba? Parang libro na yan eh.
Yes.
Libro na nila na every time that they will be given the authority to cash advance, andun yung guide nila. Tama. So we're one of that, no? Nagsasalubong yung ano natin doon. Wala tayong problema doon. So hopefully magawa natin yon. No?
Yes.
Anyway, Madam Chair.
Rep. Paduano, your time's up.
Madam
You
Chair,
can
I reserve-
continue in the second round if you wish.
Yeah, I reserve my right for the second round, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Rep. Paduano. From the majority, the chair recognizes Representative Jervil Luistro, who is joining us via Zoom. So, are you around? Kindly unmute yourself, Rep. Luistro. We proceed to the next one. Also from the majority, the chair recognizes Vice Chair Inodi.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair. Commissioner, gusto ko lang pong tanungin because last year, our Sangguniang Panlalawigan conducted inquiries regarding the status of our electric cooperatives sa aming probinsya. And unfortunately, we were asking for certain documents, including financial statements, and they could not provide us or the Sangguniang Panlalawigan with these documents. And recently, I asked the ERC if they have these type of documents, and apparently, wala din daw po pala. So gusto ko lang pong tanungin din sa inyo, kasali ba po ang mga electric cooperatives given that these are member consumer or owned, kasama ba po sa jurisdiction ng COA ang ating electric cooperatives?
I would like to refer this to Assistant Commissioner Winnie Encaliado, in charge of the corporate government sector.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Madam Chair.
Assistant Commissioner Encaliado, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Your Honor, the electric cooperatives receive a loan from the National Electric Administration, from the NEA. And the electric cooperatives are audited by the NEA audit teams all over the country on a cyclical basis insofar as the subsidy that they receive from the NEA is concerned, the subsidy or the loan that is given to them. So that is only the scope of the audit of COA on the electric cooperatives, insofar as the utilization of the money that they receive from NEA. But they are not audited annually. They are audited on a cyclical basis because there are so many of them all over the country.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just for clarification, everything else that, all the other businesses conducted by all these electric cooperatives, capital expenditures, all these things are not audited by COA or any other government agency. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. The audit is limited to the utilization of the money, just the money that comes from the National Electrification Administration, from the
So,
NEA.
Kung sakali man po,
Because these are, I'm sorry, Your Honor, these
Go
are
ahead.
private entities. So it's only the government money that goes to them that is audited.
But although private entities, I think yun nga po yung parang gray area. But again, I know
Yeah.
this is for another matter and also for a different department. I just wanted to be cleared kung yun nga po under your jurisdiction. Next po, Madam Chair, with regards po sa polisiya po ninyo sa inyo pong mga auditors, meron ba pong timeline or amount of years that an auditor stays in a certain jurisdiction? Meron ba po kayong shuffling or rotational timeline para po sa ating mga auditors?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, usually yung time duration ng auditor namin will be given at least 3 years for reshuffling, subject for reshuffling.
At least 3 years po, maximum of 3 years.
Every 3 years.
Every 3
I'm sorry,
years po.
Yes, every 3 years. Then we will have to make a reshuffling of all our auditors.
So paano niyo po nakikita po yung listahan po ng do you guys assess or do a performance basis dun po every 3 years dun po sa ating mga auditors and then they get reshuffled?
Yes po, through their directors and of course with the help of the supervising auditors. And then they will make some recommendations to the CP or to the chair as to kung sino ang ililipat or saan ililipat po.
Okay. The reason I asked po, Madam Chair, because there's certain reports po to our office with our certain LGUs and other LGUs also that meron pong mga auditors na po, they've been there for 5 years, 6 years. Baka pwede ho nating tignan ho ito, Commissioner, at kung meron ho kaming mga report po sa amin, baka po pwede rin kami makipag-communicate sa inyong opisina at padala rin ho namin ito. Baka na-overlook nyo lamang itong mga listahan na ito.
That is noted, Madam Chair and Your Honor. But isa lang din ho yun sa cost nung yung problem ho ng tao. Hindi ho namin matuloy-tuloy yung pag-reshuffle kaagad kasi yung tao din medyo kulang pa ho kami. But we are on time naman kami sa hiring. Kaya lang medyo based on the budget nabawasan na po kami. Thank you po.
One last question lang po, Madam Chair. With regards naman po dun nga po sa given that Commission on Audit is a independent body, how about po na if we receive naman po complaints within certain jurisdictions nga po against their auditors, paano po yung proseso natin sa mga ganito pong bagay?
Meron ho kaming sector under our office. Under the office of the chairperson, ang tawag po ay Internal Affairs Office, na ito yung tumatanggap ng mga complaints with regards to our auditors. So pinaprocess po namin yan through the Internal Affairs Office, of course with coordination po with the personnel or the human resource management sector. And then as actually we can provide you a report of how many auditors po ang may mga kaso at saka ilan po sa mga auditors na to ang na-dismiss na po because of those cases. And yung iba po still implemented pa and ang iba naman po fully implemented na yung mga decisions as to our auditors. Hindi lang naman to auditors po. We also have attorneys, we have lawyers, we have engineers also na may mga cases din, administrative cases pending with the Internal Affairs Office under the Chairman's Office, Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Thank you, Commissioner. And then one last question, Madam Chair. With regards naman po again to the different kinds of LGUs sa province level, municipal and cities, and then sa barangay level. Pare-pareho ba ho ang inyo pong mga polisiya or guidelines regarding sa yun po sa mga disbursements nila, sa mga iba't ibang klase ng transaksyon sa ating mga LGUs para malinawan po ang ating mga local government units?
Pareho lahat yan. Kaya nga po, yung na-mention kanina na government audit accounting manual for LGU na pinalabas ho, kaya lang medyo nakita ho namin na may kulang po, kaya dinifer lang ho namin. Once nalalabas ho yun through the gas, through the gas, the government accounting sector, andun na ho lahat yung rules applicable to all LGUs, province, municipalities, and cities. Pero sa ngayon naman po, sinusunod lang po yung mga circulars issued by COA uniformly pa rin po, Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Commissioner, once this is completed, may we please get a copy nung final po na version nitong guidebook or guidelines po ninyo. Yun lamang po, Madam Chair, maraming salamat. Maraming salamat po, Commissioner.
Madam Chair.
Salamat, Vice Chair Inodi. Before we proceed to the second round, let us give Representative Jervil Luistro another chance. Rep. Luistro? Are you around? Kindly unmute yourself.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, and we can hear you loud and clear. Please proceed.
Yes. Stop ka muna. Good afternoon to our honorable commissioners from the Commission on Audit. For my interpellations, as the Constitutional Commission which finds ultimately the unauthorized disbursements of the government, I wish to solicit your opinion on this. We have a hospital owned by the LGU. For reason of lack of budget, it ceased from its operation. We solicited the support of the DOH, which find savings from its HPEP program. However, per advice by the Office of the Solicitor General, utilizing the same will result to technical malversation. As the Constitutional Commission, once again, who ultimately finds unauthorized disbursements, may we be enlightened on the probably possible courses of action that we can consider to be able to save the operation of our LGU hospital. Madam Chair?
Commissioner Pondo?
Madam Chair, Your Honor. We are talking about the local hospitals. So I think the local government sector can provide us an explanation on that matter. Pero yung HPEP kasi is national. DOH.
Yung HPEP fund na savings, yun sa
May we know who the assistant commissioner assigned to DOH is?
DOH fund ang gagamitin.
Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Yes,
Yes.
you're recognized.
Yes, Madam. The HFEP is under the DOH. And if I heard rightly so, of course, it would look like a technical malversation if they will have to use funds from the HFEP, since I'm not quite sure if it funds those. Yeah, it's a trust fund, yes. And it has a specific purpose. Now, to use that fund for another purpose will definitely be tantamount to technical malversation. So probably if we can look into the details of that particular hospital, maybe we will be able to come up with a course of action to advise or to assist management on that. That would be for the local government unit and for DOH, because there are two agencies there.
Rep. Luistro?
Yes, Madam Chair, we will appreciate all forms of support and help which the COA may extend given the situation of our LGU-owned and operated hospital. If I may proceed to my next concern, Madam Chair.
Yes, please.
To satisfy my curiosity, I understand that COA issues this allowance order. Out of the total budget of the national government, may we know the percentage of the disallowance order issued by COA, basing from the total budget of the national government?
Commissioner Pondo?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, what we can provide as we have submitted would be the summary of COA decisions, specifically on notice of disallowances for January 1, January 1, 2021 to December 31, 2021. For the notice of disallowances, a total of 299 COA decisions amounting to 5,285,740. As to percentage in relation to the budget, is that it? We don't have the exact figure as of now, Your Honor, Madam Chair. But based on the reports that we have submitted, you can observe the percentage of the settlement on notice of disallowances or the amount involved as to whether lifted ang notice of disallowances or denied a petition for review on the notices of disallowance. Madam Chair, Your Honor.
For
Rep.
our
Ministro?
yes, Madam Chair. For our last concern, Madam Chair, may I know the top 3 agencies where there is the most or the highest number of disallowed expenditures of the government?
Commissioner Pondo?
Yes, Madam Chair, Your Honor, as to the notice of disallowances on a specific agency, we cannot provide as of now, but we can say that sa national government na mga agencies, we have about 42 agencies with notices of disallowance and 10 for the corporate government sectors. And for the local, we have 1. I am referring to the entire year of 2021, Your Honor, Madam Chair. And the total is about 4,126 notices of disallowance, including all other audits, because we do not have only the financial or compliance audit, but we also have fraud audit and special audit, wherein those offices will also issue some notices of disallowance. So a total of 4,126, but we cannot identify kung anong agency yung mas pinakamarami. Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Rep. Ministro?
Yes, Madam Chair, we will appreciate if the COA can provide us information as to the top 3 perhaps agencies which has the highest number of notice of disallowances. And finally, Madam Chair, I just wish to express my support to the Commission on Audit, to all our commissioners, and to all the possible increase on its budget. That would be all, Madam Chair. Thank you, and I apologize for the weak internet connection earlier.
No problem. Thank you, Rep. Ministro and Commissioner Pondo. Kindly take note of the request to submit a summary report on the agencies, the top agencies with most number of disallowances.
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you.
And at this point, we now proceed to the second round. Joseph Stephen Caraps Paduano, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Anyway, just to continue my interpellation, Madam Chair, I'd rather get the opinion of COA na lang dun sa mga series of questions that I will raise, and I want COA to study about my proposition with regards to issuances by COA. Number 1, Madam Chair, is alam ko, pamilyar naman kayo dun sa Article 218 of the Revised Penal Code. Diba? So, Madam Chair, may I ask the COA na lang to please study for amendment kasi napaka-obsolete na to eh. Diba? For example, isite ko lang isang example dyan. Sa 218, yung penalty is only 200 to 6,000 pesos. Diba? And imprisonment of at the minimum period. So, though it's in the Justice Committee supposed to be in the House, but I hope the COA will render its position or opinion about it. I am not forcing the issue, but it is part of your mandate. No, Now, can I get the commitment of the COA? Not in this budget. Even after the budget, alam ko, medyo busy tayo lahat. I understand the situation, COA.
Yes, Madam Chair. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. And second is the question of cash advances again. Doon sa MC 002-97 as amended. Doon sa fidelity bond. Kasi, para sa akin, lugi lagi yung gobyerno. Kung ako yung accountable officer, binigyan ako ng authority ng head of agency for 10 million cash advance. It's only 750, 7.5 million. Di ba? Ang pwede kong bayaran. Tama o ba? Kasi 75% lang eh.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, as mentioned here, itong pag-determine ng fidelity bond is under the jurisdiction of the Bureau of Treasury.
Correct po.
I schedule po siya.
Kaya nga, I want to get your position once again in this matter.
Yeah,
Kasi-
we will study.
Again, ang sinasabi ko this involves the mandate po, though it is from the National Treasury.
Yes.
But I want to get your position in this matter. Kasi lugi gobyerno eh. Diba? 75% lang. No, so that's number 2. And number 3, Madam Chair, is dun sa bonding requirements, no? Ng mga accountable officers. Kasi there are 4 requirements. Pero as I observe, and some LGUs, newly elected LGUs, come to my office and ask my opinion about this. Because there are 4 requirements. Number 1, of course, appointment designation, di ba? Number 2 is yung character references. Number 3 is yung document submitted, dapat dun sa fidelity bond sa division. But yung isa dito is the question of statement of asset and liabilities of a bonding of accountable officer. So problema kasi dito, Madam Chair, this is based on in your office. Now, ang problema kasi dito, Madam Chair, dapat just review. Kasi there are instances, for example, one of the LGU that comes to my office, salary in the previous administration, in the previous LGU, chief executive, he appoints salary grade 8 as accountable officer for an amount of around 4 million. Salary grade 8. And the question is why COA allowed it. Ako, just review. Para itong SALE na to will be religiously follow. Kasi I doubt na yung pang-apat at importanteng requirements for bonding, for an accountable officer, mukhang hindi ito nangyayari, hindi ito ginagawa. Kasi kaduda-duda salary grade 8 lang, tapos bibigyan mo ng authority. Di ba? Now, ang question, but I will not, again, hopefully, we will see each other in the near future during the committee hearing of my committee, which is the public accounts. But I hope, pag-aralan lang to kasi medyo dapat maging strict tayo. At least naman siguro, head or assistant department head or assistant department head. Doon lang tayo. Kasi kaduda-duda salary grade 8, then you give the authority for him to be accountable officer with 4 million. Magkano na yung sahod ng salary grade 8? Yun ang sinasabi, kung tinakbo yung 4 million. Sabihin na natin, pagdudahan natin yung chief executive kasabwat, if that's only 40 million, what if bigger? Tapos yung penal code natin, Article 218, diba, minimum imprisonment, 200 to 6,000 fine. So yung mga, Madam Chair, ako, I would like to suggest to COA, and of course, I'm not forcing you, but I hope, because we will see each other, definitely, on the incoming hearing in the Public Accounts Committee. So, Madam Chair, before I end, again, I would like to manifest my support to the budget of the COA. And if ever unnecessary, we will increase the budget for PS. And that was mentioned by Congresswoman Castro a while ago. Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon again to the COA family. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All points raised by the Honorable Congressman are valid points that we will study through our legal sector, Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Salamat, Rep. Paduano. Commissioner Pondoc, I promise you magkikita pa kayo ni Rep. Paduano dahil siya po ang chairman ng Committee on Public Accounts. Magsasawa po kayong dalawa. Ayan po. We are done with interpellation, but allow me to ask just a few questions. Usually po, ang audit reports natin would always begin with an accounting of the plantilla positions. So I was wondering, of course, you did mention that your authorized positions were reduced from 14,000 plus to 13,283. But I am wondering why, based on the NEP, only 7,862 of these 13,283 had been filled, and it had been such in the last 3 years.
Based on the report that we have from our personnel department, Madam Chair, ang separation mas mataas ho kaysa accession ho namin. Sa ngayon nga po, as of 2022, for this year only, we have 468 separation already. Last year, we have 551 separation compared to 228 lang na hiring. So, for many years, let's say from 2019 up to last year, marami hong nagre-retire kasi malaki yung difference, yung gap nila as to the age. Kasi if you can remember, may number of years so ang COA na hindi ho nag-hire. So, medyo naghahabolo kami dun sa gap na yon. Marami ho ngayon na-separate or nag-retired na po. So, yun po ang dahilan. And for the excesses naman po, ginagamit po namin for the MOOE if it is necessary na since kulang din po yung budget namin.
Well, I just asked this question because you normally make a comment on agencies' unfilled positions. So I wondered why you have over 5,000 unfilled positions. Yet, of course, we had about 2 representatives supporting your call for increased plantilla positions. So yun lang po. Yes, Commissioner.
Wala na po. Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair.
Yeah, so but in other words, kahit na po merong unfilled positions, you continue to do an excellent job. So kahit na kulang-kulang ang positions niyo ay siguro nag-overtawad po kayo sa opisina. Yan ang dahilan kung bakit high quality pa rin ang nagiging studies natin. Ang huling question ko po, I know that this is a belated question. It would have been an appropriate first question. But anyway, better late than never. Itatanong ko na rin po kasi kanina po sa dami po ng mga tanong, marami pong lumabas ng mga technical na mga salita. Gagamitin ko na lang po itong pagkakataon na to. I'm sure marami sa ating kababayan nanonood gustong malinawan. Can you just explain to the public kung ano po yung iba't ibang issuances ng COA and kung ano yung mga legal effect nito? Kasi halimbawa po, merong audit report. Yung audit report, may recommendation. Ano ba yung ina-expect? Dahil meron din kayong subsequent reports on which of the recommendations had been implemented or not implemented. May expectation po ba kayo na lahat ng observations doon sa report ay fully implemented ang recommendations? Sa akin pagkakaalam kasi nabibigyan ng pagkakataon ang mga ahensya na sumagot sa mga findings and recommendations, in which case there should be no expectation na 100% talaga or fully implemented ang lahat ng recommendations. Kasi syempre, to an ordinary citizen, kapag nabalitaan na merong observation or finding, parang all of a sudden, ang sama na ng pagtingin nila sa isang ahensya. So can you just explain, just very briefly, no? Sa anong punto na nagiging salarin na talaga ang isang ahensya. Tulad ng, halimbawa, pag umabot ba sa disallowances, yun na ba yung pinakamataas na antas ng pagkakasala ng isang ahensya? Or may mga pagkakataon pa ba na pwedeng dalhin sa korte ng isang ahensya ang isang COA disallowance?
Madam Chair, yung from sa sinabi niyo ang AOM, it may result to notice of disallowances or notice of charge. And then, yung notice of disallowance na yon, aabot yun hanggang sa commission proper for us to decide first whether talagang dapat ba bayaran o isauli or i-lift. Ngayon, kung ano man ang decision and if the decision is unfavorable to the person, the government official, pwede ho niyang i-file for reconsideration sa Korte Suprema.
So in other words, it begins with the audit report
Yes.
na merong observation. Ngayon, pwede silang sumagot. At kung base sa COA ay hindi siya sapat na sagot, ay pwede siyang magresulta sa isang notice of disallowance. At pagkatapos nun ay kapag i-contest ang notice of disallowance ay dadalhin sa commission na saka the decision na ng commission and after that ay pwedeng dalhin sa korte. So yun yung proseso
Yes po.
na
Madam.
dinadaanan ng ating COA. So yun lang po. Salamat sa paliwanag. Ako po ang magiging sponsor ninyo sa plenaryo. So sana po ay tulungan niyo ako para pagdating sa plenaryo ay magiging smooth ang approval ng ating budget.
Yes, Madam
So
Chair.
yun lang po. At this point, do I hear a motion to terminate the budget hearing?
Madam Chair, there are none of our members wish to partake in the period of interpellation. I move that we terminate the budget briefing of the Commission on Audit. So move, Madam Chair.
Second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Duly seconded by Vice Chair Jojo Lara. The motion to terminate the budget briefing of the Commission on Audit is carried. Budget briefing is suspended.